Welcome back. It is the fastest growing developmental disability in our country. That's autism. In fact, 1 in every 150 babies born will develop into children with autism. So as a society, what are we doing to promote awareness, acceptance, and support? Well, here with me now is the founder of AutismToday.com, Karen Simmons. Karen, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you too, Jacqueline.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you and to chat about autism. A lot of times we get a lot of misconceptions and a lot of information that's not true when it comes to autism. First and foremost, what is the definition of it?
It's a developmental disorder that affects communication, social skills, and the acquisition of language. And it's a broad spectrum from mild to severe, with milder forms being what's called Asperger's syndrome. In fact, we're bringing a speaker he's the expert in Asperger's syndrome to Edmonton in July. But and more severe cases where people are more like they flap their hands in the air, rock back and forth, nonverbal. So it's a big spectrum.
For sure. And when it comes to being a parent, I mean, what if you are starting to see some of these signs, but you're not too sure if it's autism? What are the next steps? What can we do?
Well, fortunately now they're doing a lot of screening before a child's 2 years old.
Okay.
So it's very helpful because, you know, if you do see these signs, you need to watch for like lining objects up or, you know, lack of eye contact, poor social skills. There's just lots of different cues to watch for, and just get them into early intervention and get the ball rolling, you know, get them in the occupational therapy and all these different therapies.
So it's very important to watch for those signs and kind of just the pre-checkups and to see that part. Now, my next question just circles around the misconceptions. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of information that isn't true when it comes to autism. You have a child with autism. Tell me about what you see when it comes to society.
Well, at first, you know, it was really difficult because people didn't understand what autism was. If I got on an airplane, they just said, they would ask me what that question was, you know, but now people are starting to understand because of all the raised awareness. But people believe that people with autism can't be in relationships, can't get married, that they're slower mentally, which is not necessarily the case. Sometimes they are, and that they don't have feelings and emotions.
Okay.
So those are really common. Just because they have a hard time showing their emotions and their feelings.
And so what if we're parents that our child has just recently been diagnosed with autism? Sometimes it can feel like a lonely world when you're a parent. What is the steps? What can we do?
Well, I think in any group where you have a common denominator, it's really important to talk to the other parents and to connect, because you have a common bond, you know, sharing the stories and working through some of the trials and tribulations, because we know there's lots of that in everything that we do in life, right?
For sure.
Now, so other mothers and friends, and there's a lot of online resources. So there's community groups. Like I didn't have that when I was growing up in the autism world.
Yeah, well, you are the founder of Autism Today. That leads right into my next question. Let's hear a little bit about your story. I mean, what is your background when it comes to autism?
Well, I started out with my son getting a diagnosis of autism at the age of 2.5.
Okay.
And I was devastated, didn't know what to do, decided to write a book. On the bathroom floor when the kids were sleeping. It's called Little Rain Man, and it's autism through the eyes of a child. And this led me to become the exclusive Canadian distributor for my publisher of this book. And you know, one thing led to another, and I started doing conferences to help other parents because the information was so hard to find. It's like a needle in a haystack.
For sure. But thanks to you, hopefully not so hard to find now.
Right.
Now let's talk about your latest book. Last question is the book. What is it about and why did you want to write it?
Because I'm facing these challenges right now, and there are no resources out there for autism in the future, you know?
Yeah.
Like, where does your child go after they're 18 years old? What, you know, how do you plan their estate? What are you going to do with, like, are they going to get married? Are they going to have kids? Are they going to drive? These are the questions that I was asking. How can we support this child in being the best human being and the most, you know, the happiest human being that they can be? So,
very good. Love it. Well, yes, of course. Show us the cover so that if we have it in the bookstore, we can see it there. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll see it on camera there. It's called Autism Tomorrow?
Autism Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if our viewers do want more information on the book as well as autism as a whole, where can they go?
AutismToday.com. And we're going to be giving this away free for shipping and handling, the cost of shipping and handling, because we want everybody to have a copy of it.
Very good. Thank you so much for your time. It's great to speak with you.
Great to speak to you.
And once again, I have just been joined by Karen Simmons of AutismToday.com. Now it's break time here on ShawTV, but don't go away. Your provincial weather forecast is next.